different layers of soil, as Yamashita treasure signs. You may be surprised to know that the Japanese Imperial Army had used soil as signs in their hidden treasure deposits. Basing it on my own personal experience as a treasure hunter, the Japanese Imperial Army used different types of soil layers, specifically in terms of their colors as markers. In the Philippines, soil colors ranges from brown, black, gray, red, orange, white, yellow, violet, and pink. You have to know that the Japanese Imperial Army, especially at the time of their near defeat, they pretty much able to prolong their battles by hiding themselves in their complex underground hideouts. Thus, they were quite really good at digging holes and tunnels, which enabled them to had access to different types of soils. Let's go to the part on how the Japanese Imperial Army had buried their treasures, using different types of soil layers. Assuming that they had already deposited their treasure, the first layer that protects the item is of course the treasure seal. This has been covered in the other previous videos. At this point, the succeeding layers can be the soil, rocks, and other markers. There is no standard order of layers that the Japanese Imperial Army had followed. Thus, there is no way to tell what type of soil follows the other. But basing on my personal experiences as a treasure hunter, the most common scenario is that next to the Japanese treasure seal are piled rocks. Then, the next layer is dark or black type of soil that is almost similar to a charcoal. The next succeeding 3 layers are soils that have been treated with chemical poison. You can distinguish such type of soil due to its strong or pungent odor. The odor can be something sweet, where you will really love and enjoy smelling it. But on the other hand, the odor can also be something terribly bad, similar to a rotten egg. Despite the 2 different scents of the soil, it is highly advisable not to inhale it or expose yourself to prolonged inhalation. Aside from inhaling the odor of the soil, it is also highly advisable to avoid exposing your skin or having your skin in contact directly with the soil. A digger who got overexposed to the contaminated soil will experience itchiness as the first symptoms. The itchiness can spread throughout the body, and it will become more intense as the time progresses. The next symptoms will be dizziness, where the victim won't be able to focus. Paralysis will be the last symptoms, where the victim won't be able to move. And then, the victim will have to die, since there is no cure for the deadly poison. Going back to the layers of the soil, next to the contaminated soils, are markers like clams, shells, and skeletons. These markers will be covered again, with another different layer of soils, but this time, they are no longer treated with chemicals. The Japanese Imperial Army will again put markers, or signs, as clues, and then cover them again, with different layer of soils. The same process is repeated, until they reach the near surface. The type of soil that the Japanese Imperial Army used as a final layer, or cover, on the buried spot of their treasure, must be the same type of soil found on the surface. This is to ensure that the buried spot is not the obvious hiding spot of their treasure. Moreover, studying the soil alone can actually provide a lot of useful information to a treasure hunter. But, being able to read and interpret soil can only be acquired through several years of actual experiences. Sadly, there is no shortcut, but don't worry, because I will tell you my secret. As a treasure hunter, you can just learn how to identify a certain type of soil, if it is disturbed, or undisturbed. If the soil that you are digging has been disturbed, then you have to continue with your excavation. But if it is undisturbed, then you should stop digging, because it means that you are digging an original type of ground layer. This topic is entirely covered on a separate video. Anyway, if you have any questions with regards to this topic, then feel free to ask them on the comment form below. Moreover, have you enjoyed watching this video? If your answer is yes, and you are new to my channel, then you may want to subscribe and hit the like button. You are also free to share to your friends, or to someone who may find it helpful. If you prefer a reading material about treasure hunting, then I recommend visiting my blogging website at treasurehunt.club. Thank you very much for watching, and happy treasure hunting!